Hi everyone, Darren from Ireland with an introduction to DrayTek's Vigor2133 series router range. There's currently 4 models to choose from with a model for everyone. In my previous video I discussed the Vigor2762 series. The 2133 series is very similar, but the difference is they don't have a built-in VDSL2 ADSL2 Plus modem, which also makes them a cheaper option for people who connect to types of internet where the ISP supplies the modem, or where you just get an Ethernet cable, not a phone line, coming out of something that you need to plug your own router into. That's pretty much every type of internet connection except for fiber to the node, NBN and ADSL. If you're not sure of the difference between a phone line and an Ethernet cable, here's an RJ11 plug on a phone line and an RJ45 plug on an Ethernet cable. You can see the Ethernet plug is quite a bit wider, and if you look closely you'll see it has 8 wires instead of just 4. This goes into an Ethernet port, this needs to go into a modem. So what they are perfectly suited for is internet types like cable internet, hybrid fiber coaxial internet, fiber to the premises, fiber to the curb and wireless and satellite internet connections. In addition, they have 2 USB ports on the back here, which can be used to connect a supported 3G or 4G USB modem to provide a backup connection should the primary internet connection fail. I'll include a link to the supported 3G, 4G modem list below. Alternatively, the USB ports can be used to connect most standard USB printers or flash drives or USB hard drives to provide cheap network storage. Just bear in mind that while the Vigor2133 series does technically allow you to connect to 2 different WAN connection types at the same time, it can only allow one to be active at a time. It can do failover to the 3G or 4G connection, so if the main connection goes down, the 4G kicks in, but it can't do load balancing between the 2 connections. If you're looking for that capability, you'll need to step up to the Vigor2832 series and above, or the 2912 series and above. In addition to the Ethernet WAN port, they also have 4 gigabit LAN ports and an on-off switch. In the box they have a product registration card and a quick start guide and an Ethernet cable and some screws to allow it to be mounted to the wall. They have slots on the bottom to allow that to happen, and the packaging includes a template so you know where the screws have to go on the wall. Inside they have a stateful packet inspection firewall and flexible object-based filtering rules. For filtering out objectionable internet content they have keyword, service type and file extension blocking, plus an optional web content filtering subscription service. They all support both IPv4 and IPv6. They have 2 built-in VPN tunnels including 2 SSL VPNs, up to 8 VLANs which can be used to segregate parts of your network for internal security or for traffic control, and also bandwidth limiting to restrict any bandwidth hogs on your network, as well as QoS to prioritise more important traffic over others. And they're compatible with the Vigor ACS2 central management system, so they can be monitored and configured remotely. The differences between the 4 models is in their Wi-Fi and VoIP capabilities. The base Vigor2133 model has no Wi-Fi, so it's great for people who don't need or want Wi-Fi, or for people who prefer to use their own wireless access point instead. The Vigor2133N has single band 2.4 GHz 802.11n Wi-Fi. The Vigor2133AC model has dual band 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. That's the AC 1200 version, which supports up to 300 megabits per second on 2.4 GHz and 867 megabits a second on 5 GHz. And the Vigor2133 VAC model, which is the one with the lot. It has all of the features of the 2133 AC, but adds VoIP as well. On the back here we have 2 FXS ports, which you can use to plug 2 analog telephones into or connect them to an analog PBX system. Don't forget to connect the antennas on the Wi-Fi models. They're detachable and they don't come fitted to reduce the chances of damage during shipping. Detachable antennas also means you can fit bigger antennas if you're looking to squeeze out a bit of extra range. They use a standard SMA connector, and the standard dual band antennas are around 2.5 dBi at 2.4 GHz and 5 dBi at 5 GHz. DrayTek have the ANT1207 antenna available as a straight screw-on upgrade, which steps the gain up to 5 dBi at 2.4 GHz and 7 dBi at 5 GHz, as well as the ANT2520 dual band indoor directional patch antenna, which steps gain up even further to 7.5 dBi at 2.4 GHz and 10 dBi at 5 GHz. Just bear in mind these are directional though, so you'll only see an increase in distance in the direction that they're pointing. In all other directions the signal will be worse. I'll include a link below to their specs of these two for further information. Okay, let's plug one in and have a look inside. I'll run with the VoIP model since it has everything. Okay, to get to the router's GUI, it comes up on IP address 192.168.1.1 and the default username and password are both admin. That's explained in the quick start guide if you don't remember that. Once we're logged in, we're greeted with this dashboard, and we've got a neat little graphic here that shows us status of the router, what's plugged in and running. Over here we've got our two wireless access points running, both the 2.4 GHz and the 5 GHz access points. Over here we've got an orange light on port 1 that I'm plugged into. The reason it's orange is because I'm only using a 10100 adapter. If I was using a gigabit adapter, I'd see a green light there. And down here we've got a bunch of system information like the model name, the firmware version, the LAN MAC address, and the system uptime and so on. And more information down below. And the quick access gives us shortcuts to some of the more popular features in the menus on the left hand side here. Up the top here, we've got some shortcuts. The home button will take us to DrayTek.com. That's a quick way to check if you're online. GUI map, this gives us quick links to all of the features in the menu system on the left. Our command line interface, if we want to do command line functions, that comes up there. And we've got a save button to save the configuration file of the backup. And log out. And over on the top of the menus here, we've got auto logout, which will log us out as we close the page, or we can set a timer on that to log us out automatically once we reach a certain time. The wizards, we've got quick start wizards to get online quickly, service activation wizard, our VPN client, VPN server wizard, our wireless wizard to set up our wireless access points really quickly, and our VoIP wizard to set up our VoIP. Online status is our physical connection. If we're actually online, we'd see an IP address here on the WAN 1, but we're not connected to anything in the WAN port, so it's never going to find anything. Under WAN, general setup, internet access, so here we can make changes to the internet connection as well. If I click details page, we've got a PPPoE, so this router can connect to ADSL and VDSL, but it just needs a separate modem to do it. So you need a bridged ADSL or VDSL modem, and then it can make the authentication to the ISP, but it just doesn't have the hardware to make that connection. Static or dynamic IP, it's the most common type you'd use this router for. That's your cable internet and so on. PBTP, L2TP, not often seen in Australia, and an IPv6 internet connection if you have one of those already. WAN budget there is an interesting one. We can set our WAN interface to automatically shut down once it reaches a certain quota, or send us a notification if we hit our quota as well. Under LAN, general setup, here we've got our standard IP range and our DHCP server, which we can enable or disable, or set our pool count. So if we only want to have 10 devices on our network to get an IP address, we can set that there. Our gateway IP address and lease time. Here's our VLAN setup page, bind IP to MAC, so if you've got a device on your network you always want to get the same IP address, you can establish that here. LAN port mirror, wired 802.1x, hotspot web portal if you want to set up a Wi-Fi hotspot. Routing, so we can set static routes there. NAT. Port redirection, that's our port forwarding ability. So we can set it to port forward either a single address or a range of IP address from whatever source to whatever internal IP address we want that to go to. DMZ hosts, open ports, port triggering, ALG, hardware acceleration. There's our firewall settings and the object settings that go with that firewall. This is an object-based firewall, which if you haven't used before can be a little bit to get your head around, but once you do, it's a lot easier and a lot more powerful. You can certainly have a lot more firewall rules in place. And there's our keyword objects as well. Content security management, bandwidth management, applications, dynamic DNS if you want to assign a website name to your IP address that'll update automatically if your IP address ever changes, and DNS security, schedule, radius, UPnP, IGMP, wake on LAN, SMS mail alert service and Bonjour for people who use Bonjour. Here's our VPN and remote access configuration parameters, certificate management. Here's our VoIP settings, our wireless settings. So we set up our wireless and security and so on there. And we have the same settings also available under 5 GHz as well as 2.4 GHz. There's our SSL VPN setup, our USB setup. We have a supported modem list in the GUI as well as on the DrayTek website. System maintenance. There's our system status. Our TR069 settings, that's for the Vigor ACS2 central management system. SNMP, and we can reboot the system from there, upgrade the firmware from there. Some diagnostic tools like a ping test, trace route, DOS flood table, and our central management system. So with this you can manage up to 2 wireless access points on your network from this router. That's a handy little feature. It saves a bit of time having to log into each of them individually. Traffic graph, load balancing, and our product registration at the end, which won't work because I'm not online. Okay. So that is DrayTek's Vigor2133 series router range. They come with a 2-year back-to-base warranty and are available now from DrayTek resellers. For more information about all DrayTek products, please check out our website at www.draytek.com.au. If you have any questions, please comment below, or you can send us an email to sales@draytek.com.au, or you can give us a call on 02 9838 8899. Once again, I'll include a link below to a test drive of the configuration menus. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below and don't forget to subscribe. Give the bell a click too if you'd like a notification of new videos as they go up. Thanks and bye for now.